हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू स्टाइवर्स एकेडमी एंड टुडे इज़ 3rd of July 2026 और हम यहाँ पे इंडियन एक्सप्रेस, द हिंदू और PIB की इम्पोर्टेंट न्यूज़ को डिस्कस करेंगे। एंड फॉर दिस PDF यू कैन ऑलवेज गो टू द डिस्क्रिप्शन लिंक, ठीक है, लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में होगी, तो वहाँ से आप PDF डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं। नाउ वेरी फर्स्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट न्यूज़ इज़ अबाउट द इंडो पैसिफिक और इस इंडिया एंड जापान में एक जो टॉक्स हुई हैं, राइट। जापान की PM इज़ इन इंडिया, सो 129 MOUs पे साइन हुए हैं रिलेटेड टू टेक्नोलॉजी, इन्वेस्टमेंट एंड AI, and both nations are perfectly inclined on the free and rule based Indo-Pacific region, right? And as you know that US is currently withdrawing from the Indo-Pacific region, and Japan as well as India both are concerned about it. So Indo-Pacific को free open बनाने के लिए जापान और इंडिया की partnership will be a key pillar, right? एंड इन द सिग्निफिकेंट डेवलपमेंट पहली बार ऐसा हुआ है कि इट इज़ फर्स्ट टाइम दैट द डिफेंस हैज़ बीन इन द न्यूज़, एंड फर्स्ट टाइम एग्रीमेंट साइन किया गया है फॉर द को डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट्स, राइट। सो जापान एंड इंडिया बोथ विल बी डेवलपिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स साइमल्टेनियसली. And another important news is about the $1 trillion investment. $1 trillion investment is a significant investment that Japan will do in India, right? $1 trillion. So this was all about the news. This partnership is is going very deep, and our relation with the Japan is on its peak, right now. Next important article is about Supreme Court, which has said that NCLT का order जो था, that order has been cancelled, right? So what was this order about? तो NCLT ने everyone is saying judiciary has started using the artificial intelligence in the decision making system. So same was done by the National Company Law Tribunal, और इन्होंने AI से केसेस को एक तरह से सर्च करवाया था, ठीक है। तो बट AI ने इनको क्या किया, AI ने इनको फिक्शियस केसेस दे दिए, ठीक है। इनको NCLT को लगा कि ये सही केसेस है, और इनको लेते हुए उनके जजमेंट्स को लेते हुए NCLT ने ऑर्डर पास कर दिया। नाउ सुप्रीम कोर्ट इज सेइंग दैट such type of use of AI is not good, and humans should be overviewing or taking the judgments done by the AI should be reviewed by the human. Okay, human oversight is necessary, otherwise AI can create injustice, right? Injustice in society. So as a judiciary, as a Supreme Court, right, a top court of the judiciary in India, Supreme Court has the responsibility to ensure the proper justice in India, right? Now next important news is about the buoyancy in the tax collection that we have already discussed some part of it, right? Author is saying that 14% growth has been seen in the GST collection, and they have moved to 1.95 lakh crore in June. लेकिन most of this increase is coming from the imports, not the domestic consumption. And author is saying domestic collections only grew by 6%, while the import and import-led GST growth is 34%, right? And this shows that this imports are growing very fast as compared to the domestic consumption, right? Domestic consumption. Now, author is also saying that GST collections of 50% is dependent on the crude and petroleum products, and other was dependent on the gold. All these things, prices of all these two commodities surged, so GST will naturally go up. The next important thing that author says is about the imported inflation, like inflation is coming, and then our currency also depreciated as compared to US dollar. So that is why this GST collections rose sharply. Now growth has been expected. Now author is saying in the domestic consumption side, growth was weak, like the crude oil, natural gas, fertilizers, electricity, etc. They didn't grow up as they should have, right? So that means domestic consumption is relatively lower, right? So we should not be very taking this incident as very positive, because most of the increase is coming from the imports, right? Yes. Now next, this is very important article, right? Very important. I will show you the importance of this article. It is about Mansour's model of HPV vaccination, human papilloma virus vaccination. So author is saying that the cervical cancer is the danger of cervical cancer is very high in India. Like one in every second woman is having the chances of cervical cancer, right? And in the global scenario also 25% of the global cases comes from India. So that is what is the importance of eliminating this cervical cancer from India, right? And author is saying that because of the lack of awareness and stigma, social stigma relevant to this disease, that's why women doesn't come forward, right? So what this author is trying to imply is that in the Mysore district administration took many steps in order to eliminate this disease from that districts. So what was the positive steps taken by the administration? That most vulnerable people, right, or population of nomadic tribes, urban slums, and school dropout girls, etc., were first reached. They were the missed population in every vaccination program. But if we are able to reach those people who are most vulnerable, then the success of the program is automatically ensured. And this was done in the Mansoor. And another important thing was done was the the convergence of all the schemes like Rashtriya Bal Swasthya Karyakram, Samagra MP, and Ladli Lakshmi Yojana. All those girls registered in these programs were targeted to ensure that HPV vaccination is given to all them. Right. So convergence of all the schemes was taken up, and then other thing done by the workers was door-to-door surveillance and then micro planning of all those districts, all those regions of the districts. Right. So in this mission mode manner, this HPV vaccination was ensured in the Mysore. So this is how when the government goes on a mission mode, so it can work wonders, right? Now next thing is very important, and it is related to your GS4, right? You can quote this Mysore example in GS4. How? Because you see this Mysore, in the Mysore, misinformation was very high and myths about the vaccines were very high. So in order to counter this, administration launched many targeted awareness programs. Gen Z influencers were roped in, and then this youth icons were roped in. So in that sense, it shows that if you are able to do role model approach. Right. Role models were employed, right, in order to increase the awareness. So in GS4, you can always give the examples of this role model attitude in this of this Mysore model, right? Next important thing is that the local events, like publicly those families which vaccinated their girls, publicly they were awarded. So you can always quote this in the reward and punishment theory. Reward and punishment. So in this change of the attitude, right, in GS4 change of the attitude, reward and punishment was utilized as the method to bring out the social change in the society. So this Mysore model, you can always quote in the attitude section also, right? Or top performers were also awarded. So this is how everything worked in the Mysore. And not only this, the women which were affected with the HPV, right? So those women were brought up, and then they told their story of the sufferings that they went through. So in that sense, role model approach again, role model or exemplary approach. So examples were set up in order to make the communication one of the best, right? So that is why this model was successful, and author is saying that 100% of the HCV vaccination was achieved within a time of 40 days, and that is why this model is one of the best. And behavior and systematic nudges and changes were brought up because of using this nudging approach, right? So you can always quote this Mysore example in the GS4, and that is what I have told you, that how to quote it in different topics of the GS4, right? Okay, so that is was the important of the news. Now moving to the PIB. In the PIB, some articles are very important. Like Indore has been again giving the Swachh Sarvekshan award, right? It is again one of the first city. And then wildlife conservation, the ascetic lions in the Gir forest has increased to 891, and this is in the 2025 survey, and this is one of the highest numbers in the Gir forest, right? These two informations were very important, and another important information is about India UK free trade agreement has been signed, right? Now, one more important news about PIB that has come in the PIP is the breakthrough of the super alloys, right? Super alloys have been developed, and that has been developed using the additive manufacturing. So in additive manufacturing, you can always quote this super alloys. And what was the these super alloys? Super alloys are used in the stainless steel and nickel based super alloys are there. They are used in the aerospace, nuclear as well as thermal power plants, and they have very high engineering value, right? So India is import dependent currently on the high value alloys, right? And now with this breakthrough, this India will be able to produce their own and reduce the import dependence on the imports, right? So this was significant about this PIB news. Now moving to this news, this news has been this is an opinion article on the Quad, and author is saying that America is withdrawing from Quad, Pacific Command has been changed, and America is going with the with the China, like working with China in the G2 model. So this broader vision of open, free, and open Indo-Pacific is gone, right, for now. But author is saying that this why are we concerned about this America leaving this model? Because this model was in from the very beginning, it was not a US initiative. It was the initiative that was of Japan. So जब जापान का ये initiative था, तो हमें अमेरिका के बारे में प्रॉब्लम नहीं होनी चाहिए, अमेरिका अगर जा रहा है तो दिस ऑथर इज सेइंग कि अमेरिका, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, इंडिया और जापान को मिलके, ठीक है, जापान को मिलके एक इसी इनिशिएटिव को आगे ले जाना चाहिए विदाउट द यूएस, राइट? अगर यूएस नहीं भी है इसमें तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, राइट? तो ठीक है। अब ना जापान का जो वो है डिजिटल कॉरिडोर है, जापान ने भी बोला है कि हम डिजिटल कॉरिडोर को फ्री एंड ओपन इंडो पैसिफिक में रहेंगे। और जापान व्हाट इज जापान इज सेइंग अबाउट लेइंग द सबमरीन केबल्स, सैटेलाइट कम्युनिकेशन इंप्रूव करने के लिए बारे में, और ऑप्टिकल नेटवर्क्स को बेटर करने के लिए भी बोल रहा है। सो जापान हैज़ सिग्निफिकेंट इंटरेस्ट इन कीपिंग द इंडो पैसिफिक फ्री एंड ओपन, राइट? एंड दिल्ली ने भी दिस क्वाड को एशियन नेटो होने से बचाया है, राइट? सो व्हाट ऑथर इज सेइंग कि इंडिया, जापान और ऑस्ट्रेलिया के फ्रेमवर्क को रोबस्ट बना के दिस क्वाड के इनिशिएटिव को आगे ले जाना चाहिए, इसके जो एम्स हैं उसको आगे लेके जाना चाहिए, राइट? एंड अनदर थिंग दिस ऑथर इज सेइंग कि अभी जो एशियन कंट्रीज़ हैं उनके पास दो ही ऑप्शंस हैं, लाइक गोइंग फॉर द यूएस और चाइना, right? So if we are able to give India, Japan or Australia ke combination, we are able to give them and protect this Indo-Pacific, then those nations, Asian nations, will be inclined to join this grouping, right? So that is what the benefit of this grouping will be. So this is what in the gist this author is trying to convey, right? Now next important article is about Kuki village, which has been put on fire in the Manipur, and this is important because this Manipur violence is again in the news and again creating challenges to the internal security, right? So you can always link it to the GS3 internal security and GS1 ethnic violence, right? Now next important news is about House panel, which has taken this education secretary on the reprand, okay, over CBSE remarks. So it is this education secretary was saying that CBSE director, ठीक है. CBSE director should not be confronted by the public account committee, because CBSE doesn't take government donations from the government, right? Any funds from the government. So but PSE was saying this according to the PSE, that this PSC functions as a mini parliament within the government, within the parliament, right? And if the parliament has the authority to question the CBSE, then why can't this public account committee be, right? And another important thing is that this PSC should be given the accountability. PSC should be given because accountability should be ensured of CBSE also, right? So CBSE is not free from the accountability. So this is what this idea was all about, and you can always quote it in the GS2, right? In the GS2 PSE, that this thing happened, and as an example, and also GS4 accountability. ठीक है, accountability में भी आप इसको as an example दे सकते हैं. Now next important news is about ex-CAPF official which were saying that we are being surveillance, and this information I have already talked about, that CAPF act was put in the of 2026 was brought out by India, and some of the family members of the CAPF people were protesting against it, and those people whose son or daughter etc. were protesting against, those were either transferred or their issues were, right, they were retired, right? Now fuel prices will follow only after they were cheaper crude reaches India, right? So this is update by our petrol minister, that if the fuel crude oil becomes cheaper, then only the fuel prices will decrease, right? Now next important article is about India-Japanese PM who both have inaugurated the Suzuki's 4th plant in India, and this plant is in the Kharkhoda of Haryana, and it is significant because Maruti Suzuki produces 2/3 of India's of the global supply of Suzuki, right? And from India only, approximately more than 100 countries export is done from here, right? Next important article is about the submarine cable project, which is going to link India, Malaysia, and Singapore. And this project is being developed by a consortium of Microsoft, Tata Communications, Singtel, and AI connectivity platform Lightstorm. Okay. So this is important, and this cable network will be called I2C. And why this cable is being put in India? Because India has Hyderabad and Chennai as one of the 2 data centers, okay? Data centers, and those data centers will be linked to the data centers of Malaysia and Singapore, right? So because data centers should be linked with the very high speed cables, that is why this cable system is being led by the consortium. And 2 of the cities that will be linked will be Machilipatnam and Chennai, right? And it is expected that by the end of the 2029, this project will be operational, right? Now next important update is about Russia, which is attacking the Kyiv, because Kyiv, Ukraine has hit the Moscow's oil sector, and that is why this frustration. And one of the important thing about frustration is that the Germany is saying that the Nord Stream, which was attacked in 2022, was done on the behest of the Ukraine, right? Ukraine, it was state sponsored attack, right? So that is why there is a frustration in Russia also. Now moving to the next article, the Pakistan's PM will be visiting Iran to attend Mr. Khamenei's funeral, and this is only the update that you should be updated about. Next important article is that Iran is drawing a red line in the Hormuz and saying that those vehicles will only pass which will be taking pass and from the Iran, right? And those should be using the designated route only, right? आप route से बाहर नहीं जा सकते. If you will be going against the advice, then Iran has the right to attack that vehicle, और उसकी responsibility vehicle की ही होगी, right? So this is what Iran is saying. Now, this important article is from Indian Express and government is saying that VPN providers को एक strict rule के अंदर लाया जाएगा. Like 2022 में Indian government has already framed the laws, and those laws required the names, email ID, contact numbers and addresses of those person using VPN to be kept, stored, right, for at least 5 years, right. तो ये उस समय बोला गया था. But now इंडियन गवर्नमेंट इज सेइंग कि अब हम रूल्स को और टाइट करेंगे और वहाँ जो VPN प्रोवाइडर हैं उनका एक ऑफिस होना चाहिए इंडिया में, राइट, और उनका एक कॉन्टैक्ट पर्सन भी इंडिया में होना चाहिए जिससे कि इंडियन गवर्नमेंट कॉन्टैक्ट कर पाए उन लोगों से, राइट. सो दिस इज़ व्हाट इज़ बीइंग टॉक्ड अबाउट. और VPNs आर प्रॉब्लमेटिक बिकॉज दे लीड टू द फ्रॉड्स, राइट. Sometimes frauds in India, and also the cyber security challenges are also there, right. Cyber security challenges are also there. So that is why the government wants के VPN पे we should be giving VPN some regulations, right. Next important news is about space oncology, means using of the space sector for the treatment of the cancer, right. Now for this cancer treatment, space technology is being utilized about, and why this is important, because 1 in 9 Indian is suffering from the cancer at this point of the time, right. So that is why this cancer treatment becomes important, and research is also very important, and researchers want to know how microgravity and cosmic radiations can affect the cancer progression and treatment in treatment. So that is why they want to develop a new vaccination, new drugs for it, right. So they want to test those microgravity experiment. So how to utilize this? You can utilize this in GS3 and space sector, right. Space sector, how it is space sector is being utilized for solving the everyday's problem, right. So microgravity experiment you can always quote in those. You can also utilize it in the medical field, right, in medical field or nanotechnology, nanotech example in the medicine sector, and those nanoparticles and 3D formulations which will be developed by using this space technology will be proved, will be checked if the delivery system is proper or not. So use of this space technology and 3D nanotechnology can be done in GS3 as an example. So this was all about this article. Much of the article is not very important because how everything will be done, it is of research use, not for us. What is important for us, we have discussed. So okay, we have already discussed. If you like this session, please like, share and subscribe also. Okay. Okay. Thank you all. Meet you again in the next session.